breach mode coded into the mod, which was released in version 0.50. Put that out in our announcements a couple days ago. So I'm going to show you guys what that's like right now. We'll jump into a breach map, and then we'll go over some other stuff after that. Talk about when you guys will be seeing this map, being able to play it, and some of the other stuff we're going to show you too. So let me jump right in here.
Have breached the perimeter. The perimeter has been breached by the SEALs.
Love it.
Bomb planted. Breach complete. Primary target has been destroyed. SEALs win.
Alright, so there you guys have it. There's a little sample of breach mode. You saw me pick up the bomb. As you can see, unlike SOCOM, picking up the bomb won't stop that round start music, so we won't have all these crazy music changes like the original breach mode did. Other than that, we pretty much made it exactly the way it was. If you pick up the bomb later on in the round, you'll hear the pickup music. Breach points will trigger the headquarters breach notification along with the breach music that goes with it, along with the regular planning sounds and the special round win for when the terrorists win or the SEALs win. So let me blow this breach and then I'll kill myself and show you guys what it's like.
The SEALs have breached the perimeter.
So as you can see, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done in the dune area and stuff. Once we clean all this up though, it shouldn't be too bad. Definitely a lot easier than having a lot more buildings we'd have to make. This will go a lot quicker. I mean, the bushes and everything will be daunting, but it's something we can throw together quite quickly. So let's see what happens at terrorist win.
The terrorists have prevented the breach. They are victorious.
So there you have it. I've also already put up a breach sample map on our development page. In fact, let me pull that up for you guys. There you go. See, it says extraction at the top, and objective, locate and extract the hostages. Move at least 2 hostages to the extraction zone. Good. Good shit. Now, you know, that ain't nothing if we can't do anything with the bots. So let's start with getting some hostages. So let's see if we can do that. So we got a bunch of bots in the room right now, and I want to take some bots and use them as hostages. So that was step number 1. And let's see here. Boom. Alright, so we were able to take 3 bots. You can see we moved them into spec, but are actually still able to keep them in the game. So they don't take up team slots, don't count for team balancing or anything, but are able to be spectators and be spawned in the game. And as long as we kick them at the end of the round and then bring them back at the beginning, they'll spawn again, because we move them to spec right after the round start, which allows them to quickly spawn. You can see since they're not on my team, they show red crosshairs. We're going to change that, so if your crosshairs on a hostage, no matter which team you're on, it'll always be green. But you can see we're at a good start here. We got some hostages, and they're spawned. We got them. We can put whatever skin we want on them and make them look like civilians, remove their weapons. All that stuff's pretty basic and easy, right? Now, the big problem, though, is I want this fucking guy to follow me. And how the hell am I going to do that? Because, you know, we were having trouble figuring out how we could control these bots. No matter what we did, we could not figure out a way to do it. The maps themselves use this thing called a navigation mesh, where it traces all the ground and figures out where bots can run. And that's how bots work. They run around this navigation mesh, they calculate paths based on goals, like I want to run to this objective, or there's an enemy over here, I want to shoot him or run towards him or take some cover. And that's what they do. So I wanted to try to tap into that system. It's called NextBot, and tell these guys, like, hey, I want you to move to this position. So that way, if I told this guy to follow me, I could eventually say, all right, move to the position I'm in now, and then move to the position I'm in now, and it would just constantly make him follow you. The problem is there was no way to make that happen. There's just no access whatsoever. But I have some really, really good news for you guys. So first off, I was talking to the Insurgency developers, and they informed me that by the end of the year, they are going to be coming out with a really big AI update. And based on what they told me, this AI update is going to offer enough features where we'll be able to have full extraction and escort modes, which is really exciting. Because I mean, if you could run up to a bot in here and have it, you know, everything built right into the game where you can grab this guy and he'll follow the navigation mesh and follow you and everything like that, I'm sure they would make something really sick, really nice. I'm hoping that they include something along those lines. But you know, all they told me was that they have a big AI update coming and a few other details that I can't really talk about. But I know that it's going to be a big breakthrough for us. However, I wanted to try and make something temporary for the time being, because after hearing that, I was so excited. I was like, man, it sucks that I can get these guys in this room, but I cannot really make him follow me. And you know, I thought about all different kinds of things, like maybe we could teleport them so they just kind of teleport to the different positions you're in, but that really would make it screwy. Like, you can't shoot a hostage and escort and shit. That's kind of skipping around and stuff. You really need them to run. And that's when we started looking into the command system and how to intercept commands and fake commands. And that's when we got some really good ideas. So let me show you what I'm talking about, because this is about to get really, really cool. In fact, let's go out here first and start with something really simple. Okay, here we go. Check it out. So, what we figured out how to do is essentially take the commands that you've issued in terms of the button presses themselves. So whatever buttons you press will be replicated. So for example, let's try this again. Let's go through this real slow. So right now it's recording my action, so I can move around, and whatever button presses I have can be replicated. So as long as a bot goes in the same position, I could prone and prone under this shit, and that means that bot isn't going to get stuck but will actually follow the exact same path I took. Which is really, really cool, because instead of using the nav mesh where they're doing all kinds of crazy shit, now they can actually follow you correctly. And what we'll do is we'll just pause them, so then once they get close enough to you, they'll just freeze and stop the playback of the recording so that they don't run into you. And if we do it in successive circles, so each one stops a little farther away, if you've grabbed more than one, everything will come together and actually give a functioning escort and extraction mode. So you'll be able to grab individual hostages, so you could have one SEAL grab one and go one way, and one SEAL grab one and go the other way. Because originally we were playing with the idea of invisible capture zones and all these things, but that would mean all the bots would run to the same location, and only one person could have that invisible zone follow them. With this, we have a world of possibilities because we can control everything and filter. So like if you're just kind of proning around but not moving, you know, we can cut those sequences out. If you're jumping but not actually jumping over anything, we can cut that out so the bot doesn't just erroneously jump, and really start to customize it where eventually if you're out in the open, they don't even follow your same path but kind of get a little more wavy or clipped to make them seem like they're, you know, they're different and not just completely, you know, duplicating your commands. But essentially, when you put everything together, it offers us the most awesome fucking extraction and escort modes we could have ever imagined, because you can do all kinds of crazy ass shit, and your bots are going to go right with you. You're not going to have any of that issue anymore of, like you did in SOCOM, where the fucking bot would just, you know, get stuck on something and ruin the entire experience. Warlord asked a good question. Can the terrorists control the hostages as well if they manage to kill off the escort? Yeah, that's I don't think that Harris actually had the ability to grab escort hostages, because you're supposed to, the VIPs, you're supposed to kill them right away. I don't think they could grab them. But in extraction, you could grab them. So like you could go in the hostage room, grab the hostage, and pull them out. And absolutely, that's the point. The recording is in complete control of our mod. So we can make anyone be the recorder and make any bot play back the recording. So you can even have a terrorist run into the hostage room and grab the hostage and move them somewhere else. When you're playing Death Trap, you'll be able to grab the hostage and move them somewhere else. And Fishhook, you can grab them because they spawn on that first floor, and everybody would move them up to the second floor. You'll be able to move them. When you die, we'll be able to stop the playback so they freeze and forget the remainder of the path, because once you die, they stop following you. Everything. It is pretty much our dream extraction and escort modes, because we really have more control over the bots than we would have even if I figured out how to tap into a next bot follow. If we just tapped into a next bot follow, these guys would still get stuck. I mean, you've seen it all the time. You play Firefight, and these fucking guys are getting stuck all up on here, and you have to come in and clean up the nav, and it's a bitch. And we don't have to do that anymore. Now these guys are going to do exactly what you were doing, and it's just so fucking cool to see this in action, and to see this guy come over here and prone and do what I did. So bringing everything together, it's just going to be really sickly. So I'm so excited to announce this, because it means we're going to have a feature complete mod. You know, we've always had different question marks, like, could we make demolition? Could we make extraction? Could we do this? Could we do that? And we've slowly been going through these different barriers, but now we're going to have all 5 game modes. You're going to be able to make whatever map in whatever region you want, you know, with whatever mode you want. So it's just really cool. Really cool. I mean, you put all this together and combine with the fact